Hello, this is Jason Thompson and Tina Decker with Indigo Stone, and we're here today to visit with you about engagement element one. Specifically, we're going to give you a conversation example of how you might interact with your team members to be effective in the space. Keep in mind that you've got additional conversation points, what to listen for, and strategies for how to rock this element as you engage with your team on building power in this space.
So the very first engagement element is I know what's expected of me at work. So Jason, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good. Hey, I've been working on becoming a strength-based leader. And one of the things that I know is super important is that you have really clear expectations about what you need to do at work. We've talked about it, but I wanted to loop back around and see if you've got questions or if you ever have kind of difficulty prioritizing things that are coming in.
Okay. I do from time to time have some difficulty with priorities. And where that most often shows up for me is when we've got an existing project that we're trying to put work product together for. We oftentimes have a new client come in or a new deliverable that is requested from an existing client. And it's difficult for me sometimes to know what is most critical for me to be focused on.
Okay, so tell me how you go about making your list and determining what you do in a day.
So it's interesting you mentioned that because Achiever has me making lists constantly. And I tend to put everything just on one list and I just go top to bottom as I'm working things off that list. And I feel like there are times where mission critical items may be buried 3/4 of the way down the list and I'm still working stuff at the top.
Okay. So do you have any ideas for how you might approach your list differently to get better outcomes for you?
Yeah, probably. I think I tend to get focused on my own and just working on my own. And it would be really beneficial for me to probably reach out to you and for us to visit together and just to have that extra perspective on what might be most important for me to be focusing my time on that day.
Okay. How often do you think we should do that?
I think if we could talk weekly,
it
would really help. And for my own responsibility, I should probably spend some time every day as soon as I get that list in my hands, instead of just starting at the top and working down through it. If I would spend 5, maybe even 10 minutes reviewing the list to make sure I'm clear myself about what is mission critical instead of what is at the top of the list, it would probably also be beneficial.
Okay, yeah, I think that's a great strategy. So do you have a commitment to doing that?
Absolutely do. My morning routine is not as intentional right now as I would like it to be, but I'm working through that. And one of the things I will add into that is prioritization prior to work.
Okay. So what we said is once a week. So I'm wondering if you and I can maybe get together about mid-morning on Mondays. Would that work for you?
I think it'd be great. It doesn't necessarily require a lot of time. I think if you could give me even 5 to 10 minutes for us to bounce ideas off of each other and make sure we're both clear about priorities, it would really help.
I'd be more than happy to do that. Is there anything else you can think of that I might help you with, just so that you have clarity about expectations?
I think if we would have those meetings, it would be fine. And,
okay.
I certainly don't want to take over your calendar, but just to be available if I get in a murky space for me to be able to reach out to you and ask some questions.
Yeah, so I always want to be available to you by either email or by text, and I'll try to get back to you within that same day.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
Thanks, Jason.
Sure.